This is example 2 for the introduction to SOLIDWORKS part files. To begin example 2, we are again going to select the new part icon, and to begin example 2, we're going to start our new part in a slightly different way. If we select the home icon, we'll see that the top on our list here is a new document. So if we select the new document, again we have the new SOLIDWORKS document window, and we will again select the inch part template and select OK. Simply by clicking on the screen, the graphical user interface, we're going to hide that side task plane. Now in this part example, we are going to be using the line command, again by starting a sketch on the front plane. So let's select the front plane and select sketch. And now instead of selecting the rectangle tool, we'll select the line tool. Lines are drawn in a very logical manner. Simply select the starting point. In our case, we want to select the origin, and we're going to hold and drag to the right and release. And then we can continue our profile by sketching directly vertically. We can see that we can snap in to make that line vertical. And we'll continue to draw our profile. And now, just to be able to see how to add relationships after the fact, we're going to go ahead and draw the last portion of this profile incorrectly. But now that we've got enough lines, let's go ahead and press escape. And let's start fixing this shape up a little bit. For one, we know that we want this endpoint to be located on the origin. So if I hold Control to select those two entities, and by entities I simply mean the sketch objects, I can highlight both of those entities. And then we'll add the merge relationship that brings them together. The next thing we'll do is select that vertical line, and we know we want it to be vertical. So on my context toolbar, I could select vertical, or I could select vertical over again on the side. So I'll add that vertical relationship and do the same thing to this line that we want it to be horizontal. We've now got our shape looking a little more like what we wanted it to look like. The next step will be to add some equal relationships so that it maintains its design intent. We know that we want this line, and 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 this line, all to be equal. I selected all those lines simply by holding Control down as I selected them. And now we can see as we drag this shape, it maintains its form. So again, the last thing we have to do is simply select the Smart Dimension tool, and select one of the short edges to dimension. We'll enter a dimension of 1 inch. We've now completed that profile using the line tool. So to create a three-dimensional shape from that two-dimensional profile, simply select Features and Boss Extrude. And then we'll enter a depth of 1 inch. We're going to maintain that blind extrude, so simply select OK. And we have completed example 2 using the line. The last thing we need to do for this example is to go ahead and save our part file. So again, we'll go up and select Save. And in that same folder we created for the example 1, we're going to go ahead and select example 2. Oftentimes it's easy to simply select that first example and then renumber from 1 to 2. That way your name's still there, lesson 3 is still there. Just a little tip. I should also mention that generally it's a good habit to save your part before you begin drawing it. However, in these first examples, I've chosen to save my part afterwards to give the user a chance to let's say, make a few mistakes while they're creating it for the first time and not have to worry about continually over-saving their bad file, and we're just waiting to save the file until we know we've got a good product. However, as you do get to use SOLIDWORKS more often, the best habit really is to save your document before you begin drawing. Before we begin to use the videos for the exercise files, try to complete them using the drawings. The videos are intended to be used as an answer key, not as a training resource.